Hi, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing the spring reading tag. This tag was created by Amy Jane Smith. I'll link her channel down below and the original video. I wasn't tagged by anybody, but I thought it was a really fun tag to do, and I've watched a few of them come out over the last couple of weeks or so. So I thought I would also do this tag too. So there are 8 questions in this tag, and let's jump straight into them. Question number 1 is, what books are you most excited to read over the next few months? I don't really like to think beyond maybe the next few weeks, because I've said this on my channel before that I'm a massive mood reader. But I am excited about reading the Bailey's shortlist. So spoiler alert for my latest book haul, which will probably be up on my channel next week, but I bought the shortlist to the Bailey's Prize. I put a video up on my channel talking about the long list. I think that was probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, something like that. And then the shortlist was announced a couple of weeks ago now. And I wanted to read all of the books on the shortlist and do a review for each of them. So I'm really excited to get round to some of these. So I've got The Sport of Kings by C.E. Morgan. I've got The Power by Naomi Alderman. I've got The Dark Circle by Linda Grant. I've got Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. I have got First Love by Gwendolyn Riley. And lastly, I've got Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Thine. So I'm really looking forward to getting round to those and sort of seeing what I think of them. I'm hoping to have read them all before they announce the winner in June. So pretty much May I think will be taken up with me reading and reviewing these books. So I'm looking forward to getting around to those. Question number 2 is, what book makes you think of spring for whatever reason? I wasn't really sure what to do for this one because I don't know, I put a spring sort of TBR up on my channel, and I said I'd like to read sort of more contemporary, and then nothing was jumping out at me on my read shelf that kind of screamed spring. So I had a little look at what I read last spring on Goodreads, and one of my favourite books from that particular time, and what I ended up picking up in the end was The Martian by Andy Weir. I really like this book. This is a sci-fi book that they made into a film. I haven't seen the film, but this is really good. It's a great story. Mark Watney's a great character. It's about a man who is left behind on Mars, and he has to survive and try and work out how he's going to survive and try and get off Mars. And what I particularly liked about it was the humour in here. It was really laugh out loud, funny all the way through, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's one I read sort of around May time last year, and one that I would definitely recommend. Question number 3 is, the days are getting longer, what's the longest book that you've read? And I've said this on my channel before, that the longest book that I've read is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This comes in at something like 800 pages. Yeah, 864 pages. Is that all? Yeah. So, pretty long book. I read it while I was on holiday a couple of years ago now. It took me about a week, but of course all I was doing was reading by the side of the pool. So, but I did really like the story, and I would be interested in reading more from Donna Tartt because I haven't done so yet. Question number 4 is, what books would you recommend to brighten someone's day? And for this one, I'm going to go with the 2 books that Sarah Winman has come out with so far. So her first book was When God Was a Rabbit, and her second book was A Year of Marvellous Ways. Both of these books are about family and relationships, and rooted very much in places as well, but have got some whimsy to them. In this case, in the case of A Year of Marvellous Ways, some good magical realism. This one sort of focuses on the idea of being a mermaid. I've thoroughly enjoyed both of these books. They are books that you definitely smile at, so I would definitely recommend picking them up if you want something to cheer you up. Question number 5 is, spring brings new life in nature. Think up a book that doesn't exist but you wish it did. For example, by a favourite author, on a certain theme or issue, etc. So I thought I'd go down the author route for this one. And there are two authors that I really wish would come out with a new book. I'm desperate for them to. The first one is Gillian Flynn. So we've got, it goes in order, I think Sharp Objects, Dark Places, Gone Girl, and then the short story The Grown Up. And I've read all of these now. I really enjoyed all of them. I think my favourite out of the four is Dark Places. Fantastic thrillers, fantastic sort of psychological thrillers, I suppose. I haven't heard of her writing a novel. Please let me know in the comments if you have, but I haven't heard anything like that. I've sort of seen that she's been writing some screenplays or co-writing screenplays and things like that, but nothing about her publishing a new novel, and I'm really desperate for her to do so. So the last one that she published, I think Gone Girl, was in 2014, and then The Grown Up was published as a story like this in 2015. So it's been a few years since she's published a full-length novel, and I'm going to be really excited when she announces that she's going to be writing something else. And then the other author that I'm desperate to see something else by is Risha Sepetys. I go on and on about her on my channel, but she's just absolutely fantastic. She's such a good historical fiction writer, and I have heard that she's working on a new book. I think she's pretty much in the early stages of it at the moment, so no sort of announcements about what it might be about or the title or anything like that. So I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that, but I will read anything she writes. I'm really looking forward to when the day comes around that she announces when that's going to be. So question number 6 is, spring is also a time of growth. How has your reading changed over the years? So I've always been an avid reader. From a very young child, I loved reading. I think as an adult, my tastes have changed an awful lot over the years. And I think starting to watch BookTube sort of maybe like a year ago, a year and a half ago, something like that, has certainly changed my reading tastes. You get a lot of recommendations on BookTube, a lot of people talking about this book and that book and, you know, this genre, and it puts you outside of your comfort zone and makes you think about books that you'd never considered before. Before I started watching BookTube, I'd pick things up perhaps because I heard that they were really popular, or I'd walk into a bookstore and sort of browse the 3 for 2s or the buy one get one half prices and pick a few of those up. But other than that, I didn't really have a lot of direction as to what to go in. I think I read a lot of film tie-ins as well, so if something was coming out as a film, it would kind of pique my interest and I'd read the book of it first. So I think, yeah, BookTube has definitely changed my tastes a lot. I've read things that I would never have read before, never have heard of before, and I love that. It's absolutely fantastic. And also I think starting my BookTube channel, this is sort of the 4th month that I've done it now, I think I'm reading a lot more than I've ever done before. I think because I'm motivated to read a lot more, because I'm enjoying a lot more of what I read as well. So in the past, the TV might have taken precedent on a weekday evening, for example, and it doesn't anymore necessarily. I'm much more interested in just diving back into whatever book is holding my interest at that particular point. And also this year I've stopped just reading one book at a time. I read more than one book at a time, and I never thought I'd do that. I always thought, you know, I could only concentrate on one book at a time, but I am finding that I'm reading more, and that I can read classics and non-fiction by having one of those on the go, as well as a normal book, as it were, sort of, you know, a literary fiction or a contemporary or a YA book or whatever it might be. And I'm reading a lot more for that reason as well. Question number 7 is, we're a couple of months into the new year, how's your reading going? I think my reading's been going really well this year. I've read 25 books so far. It's an absolutely phenomenal number for me. I think I'm going to end up surpassing the amount of books that I read last year, just based on kind of where I am in the year at the moment. When it comes to kind of the things that I've read, I've enjoyed a lot of it. I think because, like I said, was saying before, a lot of what I'm picking up now is, you know, things that I wouldn't have considered before, but also things that are a bit more thought-provoking, and also things that I've heard so many good recommendations for that I know I'm going to like it. So tending to pick up a lot less books that I don't enjoy, and therefore my reading experience this year has been really good. I've had a few 5-star reads. I'm sure you remember those on my channel. Yeah, I'm really enjoying how it's going. And then question number 8 is, have you got any plans that you're looking forward to over the next few months? My birthday's in May, so I'm looking forward to that. We're hopefully going to be getting our bathroom refitted. I suppose it's maybe not as exciting, but yeah, I think having a new bathroom will be really cool. We've got tickets to see Adele in June, which will be really exciting. And over the next few months, year 11 are going to be sitting their exams. So that means that all of the hard work is going to end, but also they'll have done it. It will be done. So maybe some of the stress will go away as well. So I'm also looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how interesting that is to most people, but it is to me. There you go, that was the spring reading tag. I'm going to tag Krista from Books and Jams to do this if you haven't done it already. And April from Getting Hygge With It. I'd like to see your answers to the questions as well. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.